Hello viewers and StarCraft 2 players, this is Butcher. Pretty much this is going to be documenting my games through the practice matches and whatnot. Pretty much this is sort of show you how I'm doing it, where I'm going with this. As far as my StarCraft 2 experience, I've already done the campaign. I've watched a lot of Husky's tutorials as well as SC2 Community and a little bit of Total Biscuits. I suck at StarCraft. So I've been watching a lot of StarCraft 2 videos, trying to learn and glean as much as I can from what they're doing and sort of figure out what I like, and as well as remembering the basics as far as what these tutorial videos are and replays are trying to tell me is, trying to get down the basics. I'm not going to get them down the first time. I'm going to learn them as I go. But as far as going in, I'm not a complete noob. I know some hotkeys and whatnot, but for the most part, I am far from any kind of competent as far as multiplayer goes. So this is the first match that I have played multiplayer, with the exception of the co-op stuff, just to get the achievement. But pretty much just like to show you what I did with my first game, what my thinking was, and looking back, see what I could have done better. Alright, so the start isn't really that exciting. Pretty much what you're doing is you're pumping out SEVs. I'm trying to do the, always keep one going. And I'm not queuing them up. And apparently this was his third game. So yeah, pretty much. I don't think I have it hotkeyed right now, but I probably should. But as soon as it's done, click on it, hit SEV again. It should, you can queue it before it's done. You don't have to, but yeah, I guess it's just all about how you play. Now I'm putting down the first supply depot right now. This is what I'm doing is part of the 3-rack stem timing push, which was I've seen it on a couple of videos. I like it. It's just as far as money spending, keeping stuff low, and I get the refinery up. I'm not too sure if that's part of it. I'll probably have to look back later, but it could be, it could not be. So I get my barracks down, and as you can see, my opponent Joey is just starting up his supply depots. I believe he got supply blocked a little bit earlier, so he wasn't producing anything, whereas with me, always trying to produce something. Trying not to keep myself supply blocked. The unit producing buildings, always having them producing something. And here I decided to go for an engineering bay. The only problem is later I don't use it once it's done, so I don't have it doing anything, which is a waste of money, I suppose. And as you can see, Joey's been having his stuff queued up, and he's going for both refineries, which is a waste of money and a waste of workers, not getting minerals in. And as soon as those barracks were done, I went for the orbital command. This is part of the stem timing push. I didn't initially use it for the mules. As you can see, he's really queuing them up. He's spending money that isn't going to be used until later. So yeah, for all intents and purposes, since this is blocked off, the scanner is my only scout right now, and I already start breaking down the barricade right now, because with the build I have decent security, and this is a pretty terrible wall. I start off my second barracks. I probably should have been on my third barracks by now, and later on I find myself getting supply blocked at about the 35, maybe 42 area. But, I have, as soon as I can, I have a researching stem, but I don't have this guy producing anything. I should have had him working on Marauder earlier. And again, the engineering bay, not doing anything. But I'm also doing my best to always produce SCVs. It slips there a little bit, but I'm always trying to produce SCVs. I'm always trying to produce something. And finally, I get an upgrade going, but I think that'll block either a Marauder later or whatnot. I should probably wait until later. At least until I have my third barracks up before I drop an engineering bay. As far as what he's doing, Joey, he's got his 3 barracks up. He's working on an engineering bay as well. He's still queuing. He doesn't have any, he doesn't have an army, so to speak, whereas I have 2 Marines, 2 Marauders, and I'm producing more Marauders as best I can. This one's going to be a reactor, and I'm getting up a factory now. And so, I just scanned him right here, so I know where he is, so I know where I'm going with my guys. He's starting to get up his factory against a 3 racks push, I guess. Yeah, right now I'm supply blocked at 35, so that's bad. Don't want to get supply blocked. You always want to be producing SCVs, up until you expand, and then you want to have your secondary or your natural expansion producing SCVs as best as you can after transferring these over. So finally, I get the factory down, but I don't use it, unfortunately. And I got... I'm using the engineering bay at least, but the factory I'm not really using for anything. I think I scoot out, Hellion later. So, I pretty much got 2 SCVs building supply depots. I finally got up my second refinery sometime, and now I'm starting to use the mules because I just scouted my guy. So he's got, let's see, as far as the army, he's got 14 Marines right now, as opposed to my 7 and 4. He's got a bigger number right now. He's going all Marines, which against Terran versus Terran is the right thing to do, so to speak. But 3x stem timing push. These guys have the benefit of stem, and the Marauders will soak up a lot of Marine damage. So now I'm just starting to move out at about the 9:10, 9:15 area, and I got my barracks queued to these guys right here, so I can continue producing units. And as you can see here, I'm trying to keep on producing SCVs. I don't know if I use another mule or not at this point because I'm concentrating on this. Actually, no, I was back here, and then I finally figured out, hit the stem, I pretty much annihilate his entire Marine army. I walk in, he's got nothing left. He's got more SCVs than I do, which usually means he's got a better economy than I do, but I've been using my money wisely. And what do I have producing left? Well, I got 1-1 right now. He's got nothing that can stand up to this. And I guess here I suggest he should scout more. In the practice league with the barricades, yeah, you should probably do that if you're intent on winning, which, that's what the game is. But, I think what it really came down to was I was spending my money on both my macro, and I was spending money on my units and upgrades, whereas he was queuing up his stuff. He finally got starport down. If he had actually rolled that with tanks, that probably would have stopped me if he had siege tech. And, I mean, he had all these buildings going up, but a lot of those buildings weren't doing anything, whereas my buildings with the exception of the factory and the early engineering bay, they weren't. Those were my two not doing anything. But he had a whole lot more that weren't doing anything for the most part. He was queuing up. He wasn't putting his money where it would be spent immediately and would get something out of it. So as far as what I can do better, set up the engineering base since I don't use it until later. Put up the second barracks and the third barracks first, then put up the engineering bay. Put up the factory. Yeah. I'd probably go for the engineering bay first because I want to get an upgrade for my guys. And as you can see, I was putting up the army, so I could have gotten 2-2 if this game was going on long enough. I let my macros slip as I was pushing in, so I probably should have built a second command center so I could expand to the natural. But all in all, against Joey, who trying his third game and whatnot, I didn't have too much to worry about, but these are things that I should be thinking about with my next game if I want to continue doing the 3-rack stim timing push. Anyway, that's that's my first game. Hopefully I got the right idea of how to improve what I need to do.